Welcome to episode 60 of the movie Lighthouse, shining a light through the fog of film. My name is James.
I'm Laurie, 47 years of age, Capricorn.
And I'm Wyndham, also 47 years of age, but not a Capricorn.
Well, I am James, and 46 years of age, and I'm not going to tell you my star sign because I don't want to be have my identity stolen.
Oh, what have I done?
Yeah, exactly. Right, how are you doing, guys?
Very well. Episode 60.
Yes, 60.
Nice round number. Oh, I will actually say, don't go in the toilet for a bit. Ooh. Leave it a while. Let's just say leave it a while.
Was that your Christmas doings?
It was a very rich
your body.
Christmas.
I've had to sit down and grow a little moustache and go jacuzzi, and I'm pointing at the brulee or garlic. What's it called? Bousson. And I did the maths, and I think we opened it on Christmas Eve. I had a little bit a minute ago. That didn't work. So that's an excuse for a red wine. I'm having a little red wine to take.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're not really going to talk about Christmas because that's
no.
But what we are going to talk about. Oh, sorry, I've made a cake.
Ooh, what kind of cake?
It's a toffee cake. But nice? I really shouldn't have eaten it before I started talking.
Is it any good?
That's great.
Does it have a sunny bottom?
No.
Oh, good.
Anyway, so what we are going to talk about, I thought, is a little reflection on 2023. So we brought three films to the table, each to talk about. I'm sure some of them will overlap. And then we're going to think a little bit about the future and a couple of other little things. But before we get into that, did anybody watch any Christmas films over Christmas? Is there anything that spotted you took your fancy?
I think I talked about it. Spirited before Christmas, the Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds.
You did talk about that. You're not allowed to talk about it again.
So that was it for me. Didn't watch anything else. What I did watch, actually, I watched the entirety of the US Office, 9 seasons.
Jesus Christ.
20 odd episodes per season. I watched that between mid-December and day after New Year. Christ, that is a lot of TV.
That must have cleared up your eczema no end.
It's actually put me off TV. So this year, I want less TV in my life.
Right.
I've done it all.
Thank God we're not reviewing TV, eh?
Exactly.
Because let's just talk a little bit about TV, because I watched the whole series of the US Ghosts, which is like 26 episodes as opposed to we have 6, do we, or something?
Yeah, much shorter.
And actually, they did quite a good job of filling them up.
They do all right, but it's just they are lacking. There's something lacking. It's a lot quicker, a lot faster paced, but it's just not as funny. The characters aren't as lovable.
They've grown on me a little bit.
Well, you did whatever episodes. I've only done 3, to be fair. So
yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. But I think the series of the year has got to be what's its face? I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. Did you watch it with them?
Oh no.
Did you
and
not?
Now it will be lost to me forever.
Why have you not got Disney Plus anymore?
Oh no, that's
we do. But I'm kicking the TV.
Yeah.
Why don't you just pretend it's a really long film?
Kick the TV and do something less boring instead. Exactly, I think that's what the rules are.
Yeah. Did you?
Andor is really good. Again, we have already talked about it, but it's
not the last 3 episodes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so I have.
Did you mean the last 3 episodes of our podcast? Because we've definitely spoken about it in the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's really good. However, I would challenge you to say, is it the series of the year? Now, Guillermo del Toro is what's it called? The Casket of Curiosity or something like that. I can't remember exactly how many episodes there are. I think they could be 8, maybe 10, something like that. I think it's 8. But not all of them are amazing. But the 4 or 5 that are amazing, that are peppered through the 8, are fucking amazing. It's really, really good.
Have they got Nazis? Are the Nazis in it?
Are there Nazis in it? I'm trying to think if there's a Nazi episode. There is only one episode actually that I haven't seen it in its entirety, and that's starring Ron Weasley, Robert Grint, whatever his name is.
Rupert Grint.
Rupert, there you are. So that may have Nazis in it, but I can't remember it.
All right, well, that's quite a nice segue because I want to talk about Del Toro.
Yeah.
Because one of the films that I bring to the table, it's not one of my favourite films of the year, but it is one I watched and I do think it warrants talking about. And that is Del Toro's...
Sorry, Dumbo.
I believe you did that. Yes, it is Pinocchio.
I want to tell you a story. It's a story you may think you know, but you don't. Over there! What is that?
Papa! It speaks!
He's just a puppet.
No, I'm not. I'm a real boy.
People are sometimes afraid of things they don't know.
I don't understand.
Ah, we have found him, our star. Everyone shall love you and call your name Pinocchio. Pinocchio!
Has anybody seen this film?
No.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of hype about this film.
Oh, well.
Years and years and years and years.
A kid's film? No, not at all. I mean, it's so dark, but for dark's sake. I mean, I don't know who this film is aimed at, really. I thought it started quite well, but you know, we open with Geppetto being very happy with his son Carlo, and they're in the local church building the effigy of Christ as the Nazis fly over and bomb the church and kill Carlo. The image of Christ is destroyed, and then years of unhappiness pursue until Pinocchio turns up, who he really doesn't want to be there for the whole time. Quite an annoying little puppet for all intents and purposes. But again, it's littered with references to. In fact, we even see the Duce, which from who was the leader of the Italian front, Nazi front. He's like a character in it and stuff. So yeah, it's just littered with war and Nazis, and I really don't understand why. It's certainly not.
Quite clearly, he's not making your traditional kind of kids film here, is he? Quite clearly, he's the kind of. It's almost like what he did with Pan's Labyrinth. You know, he had that.
Yeah, well, I don't think that much of that, really, to be honest.
Oh no,
but at least I could handle that. But it didn't seem such a shoo-in. I don't think there's any need. Why do you have to have the backdrop of the Nazis for the story of Pinocchio? I don't get it.
Yeah,
and it was just and look, spoiler warning. I'm going to tell you kind of at the end, which isn't really a spoiler, but at the end, you know, there's a whale bit, and they get out, and then they all go back, and they all live happily ever after. No. We see Geppetto die, and then we see this other character. You said
spoiler,
die.
didn't you? You said that, didn't you?
And then we see the cockroach, which is, you know, like the conscience, die.
Jiminy Cricket.
Well, he's not called Jiminy, Sebastian. And then Pinocchio walks off into the world
and dies.
No, he doesn't die. That's the thing. He's not even a real boy.
Gets woodworm.
Does he never become a real boy?
Well, I think there was about 20 seconds which I missed because it is incredibly long as well. It's like,
was there a blue fairy? The blue fairy in there?
I wouldn't describe her as a fairy, more of a cockroach.
Centipede. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And,
was it beautiful? Was it beautiful?
No.
Okay.
No. One of the songs was okay. The rest were a bit daft.
Oh, it's a musical as well.
Not really. There was about two songs. There was kind of a running gag where Ewan McGregor, who was played Sebastian the Conscience, kept starting to do a song and then it kept getting stopped.
Is it me, or is it just whenever you hear McGregor's name, it doesn't bode well to any production?
Do you think so?
I want him to do well. I like him as a fella, but
he did quite well in I'm Darth Vader.
No, I didn't
Whatever.
like that.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, I didn't like that.
I'm always put in mind of his travel.
Yeah,
films,
I like
where he
that.
gets on his motorbike and he drives long way down, long way up, long way round.
You mean the beach?
Yeah,
Yeah. Love
Was he in the beach? No, he wasn't in the beach. Was
he's
he?
great in the beach.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah, Pinocchio. Let's not worry too. I don't think it's done very well either, is it? I think most people are in the same mind as you.
but yeah, I mean, this doesn't make you feel. And it just makes you feel a bit sad with the world, really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so talking things about I've seen over the last sort of the few weeks and stuff. I saw Censor. That was the 2021 film, I believe, that we all were hoping to go to the South Bank in London to see together, but we didn't.
Oh.
yeah.
British film. It's about one of the censors back in the 1980s when they're looking at the video nasties and she's censoring. Turns out she's got a bit of a backstory where she's lost her sister and be like genuinely like a missing person, and then she keeps seeing her in this particular film, these bits that she's editing out. It's like, that's my sister. So then she gets lost in this kind of search for her, and she goes further and further into the film itself, meets the director, starts becoming part of his next production, and it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. It's good. It's not great, but it's good. Atmospheric, British, fun. That was fun. Censor.
So is that one of your offerings, or is that just something you watched?
No. Just like I saw a film, Rutger Hauer film from the early 90s called Surviving the Game. You ever seen that?
No.
Him and basically you got Ice-T. He's like a bum living on the streets, and Rutger Hauer becomes his mate, whatever. And for whatever reason, he says, "Look, come to my retreat on this remote island. You could be like the handyman. I've got some mates coming over. We're having like a bachelor party thing." Anyway, turns out Ice-T goes there. He's been naughty, Rutger. Basically, they're all just a bunch of hunting, murderous men, and they send Ice-T off into the woods to survive, and they go hunting after him with rifles and dogs and guns and jeeps, and Ice-T has to survive. And it's got, who's the work of art?
Gary Busey in it.
Gary Busey in it. Oh my God. There's this one particular scene where Gary's talking about him and his dad, and the way his dad brought him up and made him basically fight and kill his own dog that he loved. And it's such a scene. When you're watching it, it's like, it's cinema gold. But then Gary gets killed quite quickly, actually. He's gone. But it just for that one scene, it's like, fucking hell. But it's one of those perfect, really left to center Rutger Hauer films where Rutger's great for shit like that. But yeah, really good fun. Surviving the Game.
All right.
That sounds right on my street.
Do you have any kind of films that you watch every Christmas? Like,
so many. Eyes Wide Shut, Rosemary's Baby, Rear Window, The Birds, Ninth Gate, I mentioned last year.
you watch these every Christmas?
Well, yeah. The Woman in Black.
That's like a Christmas thing.
Yeah, loads of the BBC ghost stories at Christmas. Loads of them. The Stalls of Barchester, Whistle and I'll Come to You.
I think you just want to sound cooler than you actually are.
It's a Wonderful Life.
All right. So, Wyndham, why don't you tell us about one of your choices?
Okay. So my first choice is, let me just fire up the Quattro.
Oh,
I watched it relatively recently, and it is the multiverse movie that we all really wanted. It is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
Now, you may only see a pile of receipts, but I see a story. I can see where this story is going. It does not look good.
What's happening?
husband. I'm another version of him from another universe. I'm here because we need your help.
That's my second choice.
Fucking loved this
It
film.
is a brilliant film.
It's so good. And it was, I think I saw it. I can't even remember who I've been reading, but I've been reading somebody who was talking about the multiverse and talking about actually, if we open our third eye and if we open ourselves up to the universe and there's all this weird shit going on. And I absolutely loved it. I loved the fact Michelle Yeoh is brilliant in it, as she always is. The fact that you've got Jamie Lee Curtis in there as well, playing the dowdiest, dourest kind of a character. You've got Ke Huy Quan, who was Short Round.
Sorry, what?
James
Short Round?
From Indiana Jones.
And the Temple of Doom.
All those days ago.
Oh.
It's just a really great film. And my wife was...
What? Sorry, was he also in Goonies?
Yeah.
Later.
Yes. Oh,
Later, yeah. Louisa she came in about 10 minutes in, so she was already fucked. There was no way she was going to follow it 10 minutes in. And then she kept dozing off and waking up and making snide comments at the world they go to, the universe where everybody's got sausage fingers, hot dog fingers.
Yeah.
She was just making very snidey comments, and I remember sitting there just going, well, if you'd watched the whole fucking thing, it would be all right, wouldn't it? Leave it go. I love it.
Have you seen it, Laurie?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
no.
It's brilliant. Right, so Wyndham, do you understand it?
Yeah.
More or
Next
less?
question.
Because so you can go along with it and just accept, that there's. Yeah, I think I need to watch it again.
I would agree with you there, most definitely. I don't think it's one of
certainly
those.
understand the multiverse and the fact that they somehow get skills from other universes, and then suddenly they have them, a bit like the Matrix. But
so it's exactly that. So it leverages that concept that anything that could be is somewhere in some universe. So then in some universe, I am a kung fu master. So if I end up in a different reality ends up in a situation where I could really do with being a kung fu master, they've got this ability to search the multiverse for the version of me that is that kung fu master and kind of pull the skill in. Yeah, I'm not going to say this stands up to modern science, but it is absolutely wonderful. Especially there's just this beautiful bit where one of the worlds, the two characters, Michelle Yeoh plays a mother, and she ends up in this universe where she and her daughter are just rocks.
Yeah,
and they're rocks with googly eyes stuck on them. And the conversation they have is all in subtitles, and it's just from all these crazy worlds they've been to suddenly end up in this. They're just two rocks next to each. It's just, I love it.
That reminds me of an episode of Moonlighting, way back in the day.
It's about 2.5 hours long, isn't it? It's a long film, but it's very, for what it is and what it could be, it's quite contained, really, in the way, because it could obviously, it has to be, or it just lose its pace or lose its place, but it does pack a lot in.
Yeah,
I mean, the imagination of the person who wrote it. Who did write it?
So the writers were
Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schun.
The two Daniels, yeah.
Yeah, the two Daniels.
Oh. It reminds me a little bit of. I mean, the story itself doesn't, but there's an amazing book called The Raw Shark Texts, and it is this weird. It's amazing. Thoroughly recommend it to anybody. But it is this weird journey into people's heads and just the weird shit that can happen in there is absolutely amazing.
But nothing weird happens in mine. But
in your head?
Yeah, it sounds good though, but it wouldn't stand up in a Petri dish, right? Is that what we're saying?
Well, yeah. Thingy deGrasse Tyson might sit there going, I don't know about this, but good, definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Laurie, how about you?
only just bumped into it actually, and it was off the back of our Canadian correspondent, and he recommended a few films to see. One of them was Flux. Oh shit! He said it was right up my strata, but I couldn't find it for free. But I did find one for free that he flagged called Barbarian, which has kind of been like a...
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it? Good, good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a shock hit, apparently. I don't know why it was a shock hit. Maybe it just wasn't on the radar.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
This is 476 Barbary, right?
Yeah, I'm renting this place.
No, I booked it a month ago.
Are you sure you have the right place?
Yeah. What am I supposed to do?
Why don't you come inside and we'll call these idiots. Why don't you just crash here?
Oh, no.
I don't know if you got a great look at this neighborhood, but I don't think you should be out there by yourself. It's dry and there's a lock on the door. By the way, I'm Keith.
Tess.
You take the bedroom and I'll sleep out here on the couch.
God.
I don't know why it's called Barbarian as well, to be honest.
No, I thought that. Let's figure it out. Let's unpick it.
So
basically,
do you want to give it, explain what it's all about?
There's a young lady. She's gone on to Airbnb. She's got to go to this town because she's doing some sort of movie or something. She's doing some photo shoots or something on location. So she's rented an Airbnb. She turns up and there's someone already there. It's been double booked, god damn it. So she doesn't know him from a slice of bousson, but for whatever reason she goes, okay, right, I will stay. And they get on, they have a good night, but it turns out that there's a lot more to this place than meets the eye. And then the film just kind of unfolds and escalates, following her for the majority of the time, a good halfway through the film, and things just get crazier and weirder and weirder. Very fresh, actually, fresh ideas. You really don't know where it's going to go for the majority of the film, but you always know there's that kind of, well, actually, when you open the film, it says horror, so you know shit's going to go down. Anyway, so the malevolence is there, and then you kind of get halfway through it, and then it breaks to another character, the guy from Jeepers Creepers and Drag Me to Hell, forgotten his name. That's our boy.
Sorry, the character, I haven't seen it, by the way. I got the film wrong.
Oh, right, okay. He's great in it. Plays a right little twat. And then you kind of follow him, but then the two stories sort of connect. And then it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And then it ends. And it was jolly good fun. Is it the best thing that I've seen in 2022? No. I can't. Yeah, but I really liked it. It was good. Barbarian. Director, by the way, Zach Krieger or Kreger.
Has he done anything else?
Probably. I'll get back to you.
Don't know anything else.
All right. Well, I've only got one more choice left because Wyndham stole my second one. So, Wyn, do you want to go next?
Who, me? Yes. My second choice is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh, right, you've seen that.
It's just one of those. I'm turned on to Nick Cage. I know we gave his Vampire's Kiss a bit of a panning, much to your distress.
It's brilliant.
But I just really love it, and just the fact he is so. It is so self-deprecating. Have either of you seen it?
No, not yet.
No, what's it called again, and what's it about?
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And it is Nick Cage playing Nick Cage. And so he's going through a period in his career when he can't quite get the gigs, and yet he's just getting super excited about the little conversations he's having over lunches in LA. And he's thinking, and then he's auditioning off the cuff in the restaurant, screaming in the producers' faces. And then as they're leaving, they're kind of going, I can do it another way if you want. He's just really into the art that we know he is. and then he's getting no work, and then he gets invited to an island for his biggest fan's birthday. But what he doesn't realize is his biggest fan is one of the world's biggest drug dealers and cartel bosses. And so as he turns up on the island for this guy's birthday, the CIA or whoever the American agency is there going, is that fucking Nick Cage? What's it? And he basically gets recruited by the CIA to infiltrate this guy's compound and get the information. It starts off with him being him, and then it just goes on this weird tangent, and it's brilliant. Really, really enjoyable. If you like Nick Cage.
I'm sorry, I misheard you at the start. I thought you said Nick Cave, who I assume is dead. So
he's not. Apparently.
Nick Cave's not dead.
No? Is he not
His
dead?
son's dead. No. We won't talk about that. God damn it, that's terrible.
Okay, so but it's Nicolas Cage you're talking about.
It is. Yeah, his friends call him Nick. That was probably where I derailed it.
So is it? Has he done it again?
He has done it again. Yeah, on all sorts of different levels of. He in this film, he's anywhere from like a Nick Cage 7 to a Nick Cage 12. It's great.
And 12 being Vampire's Kiss, right?
Like full on proper Nick Cage. Who else is in it? Bear with me. What's it called? I can't even remember the name. All right. It's got Pedro Pascal in it.
Knew it.
Now, doesn't he play the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
There you go. And he's very good in it as well. He plays the
gig, was it?
He plays Javi, who is the criminal. It's
just in case anyone's interested. In season 3 of the Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal will be taking off his helmet a bit more.
Surprise, surprise.
He's a good-looking guy. But yeah, that's my second
one.
one.
I look a bit like him?
No, you look like that guy from the script.
Try again next year.
Right, go on then, Laurie. Your number 2 choice.
Number 2 choice. Let me think. Oh shit, I did make a note. Oh, what is it? I don't know. Oh, note. There you are.
Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? And that man is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather. But that's why back at the Haywood Ranch, as the only black-owned horse trainers in Hollywood, we like to say, since the moment pictures could move, we had skin in the game.
What's our boy? What's his name? Oh, what's
the guy,
his face?
Are we talking Nope here?
Nope. Yeah. Have you seen it?
Not yet.
You mean Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele, our boy, always makes something interesting. Always has, more than what you see under the surface. A bit more sort of sublimacy, whatever it were, metaphor, that kind of stuff. And he gives us this tale.
Know?
Yes, he does. If you want to read into stuff, it's all there. It's all quite, it's not really that deep, but he presents it in an interesting.
Talk me through the rabbits in Us.
In Us, I can't really remember Us so much. I didn't really kind of get on with that one as much as I did. Obviously, was it Get Out? Was it called?
Mm-hmm.
That was just wonderful. And then Nope. Yeah. Superb. I mean, I haven't actually researched, kind of the real dissection of it and that kind of like, what's the meaning? What's it trying to tell us? Sort of deliberately, and the fact that I haven't really had time. I've been too busy on the toilet. But what I'm kind of gleaming from it, I mean, on the face value, what you've got this family, they have always been for years and years and years horse handlers, as it were, and they're direct descendants of basically the first man ever captured on moving picture, and that was.
Hold on, are you kind of giving it away?
No, I'm not giving anything fucking away. First image ever caught on moving picture was a black man riding a horse. You just see this horse cantering. You might you know, you might know it in your mind. Actually, a lot of us have seen that image, the first motion thing ever recorded. So this guy that was riding that horse was never credited, you know, but a real piece of, you know, cinematic history. Anyway, this family, they are direct descendants of that man, and they still run the ranch, and all their horses they pimp out to movies, like the Scorpion King's mentioned, and the Mummy, and all that kind of stuff. But
shit movies then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, like real, you know, they're a real working family, just, you know, getting gigs when they can get gigs, when they need horses. And anyway, so you're on this ranch, and basically what you have, it's a monster movie on the real face value. There's a UFO, a man-eating UFO that stalks the ranch, hides in the clouds.
How do you stalk something that doesn't move?
There's one cloud that you realize later on in the film hasn't moved. It's just they're always there. And then this little UFO will peek out, and then it'll come out, and then it'll eat you up, and then fly off again back into the clouds. It's mental. It's absolutely bonkers.
But no spoilers, though.
No spoilers at all, because it's not what the film's about. But yeah, you on the face value, you've got this, you know, really, you know.
I think what Jordan Peele does well is throw ideas at something,
yeah,
but they don't necessarily fit together always and stuff like that.
This one does work. It is completely like, you do sit there and think, what the actual genuine fuck kind of stuff. And there's this other story that runs through it as well, where you've got there's this TV series that had this chimpanzee, was like the main kind of character, and there was like a family around it. So like Harry and the Hendersons kind of thing. Filmed in front of a live studio audience. And you learn that there was this one particular very famous episode where it's called I think it was his name, Chucky or Choppy. Anyway, it's his birthday, the monkey's birthday. And on the set, one of the balloons pop. And basically what the monkey does, it kills, it fucking goes on a fucking rampage and bites the faces off all the cast members while the audience is sat there. And you're in the actual TV studios as it's happening. And it's just lovely. And yeah.
Well, what's that got to do with the rest of the film?
I suspect, and as I say, I haven't read the blurb, and I'm probably completely wrong, but I think the film is about modern day spectacle and the way we look at celebrity and we consume it. We consume fucking people if they stare into the camera, because this UFO looks just like a camera lens, basically. And if you look at it, you get sucked into it, and it eats you up, and it cunts you out. But the guy that was ever first captured on moving picture, he didn't look at the camera. He was uncredited. We didn't know his name, and he didn't look at the camera. But it's just, I think it's something about that. I think it's something about the way we consume and feel like we own people via, you know, looking at the telly, or them looking into the camera. We kind of, and something about that.
I think there is a danger that he might start believing his own hype a bit and turn into.
There's nothing to believe. No, well, to be honest, you get a similar kind of feel. You know, Shyamalama in his day, The Village and all that. You know, his Signs. You know, really great.
Signs wasn't a very good film.
Oh, I like Signs a lot, actually. But I always used to look forward to his films coming out. And
when did that stop?
When did that stop? I loved Unbreakable, the first one. Oh my God, I loved that. I don't know, maybe soon after that. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's that similar kind of feel, actually. It's like a nowadays Shyamalama kind of film. But he's got much more of a historical. He's definitely obviously got the Black history. That's a big thing for him, and I love that as well. Highlights a lot of things, you know, that I don't always think of. So I like his movies. I find them quite poetic.
Great. All right. what number was that? Your second choice, yeah? Okay. All right. So, our final choice. So, this is definitely my favourite film of the year, and it's a very small little independent film called Brian and Charles.
I never thought I'd make anything as amazing as Charles.
You built my body.
I built his body. My name's Brian. This is my infamous inventions pantry. It's actually a cowshed. Things went a bit topsy-turvy in my life and I was very alone. Ah, fiddlesticks. That's when I just started making stuff. Any little idea I had, I just made. It's an egg bell, pinecone bag, flying cuckoo clock. So whenever anyone in the village wants to know the time, they can look up in the air and I'll be there. Get back! It's on fire! They don't always work, and the stuff I build isn't for everyone.
Well, I'm impressed.
Thanks. My new project, I'm building a robot. Didn't look too bad, does he? I wonder what he'll do when I turn him on. You'd like me to give you a name? Tony? Charles?
Charles.
Charles?
Charles.
You like that name, do you?
Hello, Brian.
Hello, Charles. It's lovely to meet you.
Has anyone seen it?
Right, no.
No.
Okay. You cannot watch this film without falling in love with it. And it's kind of hard to well, it's not hard to explain. It's much easier than the ones we've been trying to explain. But basically, it's did anyone see Afterlife with Ricky Gervais? Yeah,
yeah.
You know that kind of weird guy who works. I think does he distribute the newspapers?
The postman.
Not the postman.
No,
he's got
Kevin or Keith or somebody.
Yeah, he's got a beard, and he
David Earl plays him.
Yeah, so David Earl is the main actor in this, and basically he is an inventor, but not a very good inventor. A weird, kind of weird.
Oh,
yeah. And he invents a robot called Charles, and basically Charles is got like he finds his head, so it's like an old man's head, and then the body is a washing machine, so it's just a massive cardboard box basically, and it's just how their relationship together, and it is so funny. It's just brilliant. It's brilliant. You just got to watch it. Is
it heartwarming? It is, isn't it? Come on.
It's just really funny.
Yeah,
it's funny, and it's kind of like shows small town mentality. What happens when Charles gets taken away. Charles dancing is just a delight to watch. And when he starts getting like he wants to I can't remember what's it called? He wants to go to this island and he keeps getting the name wrong. It's very hard. You have to watch it. It's brilliant.
So is it David Earl? He was quite famous. Well, not famous, but he's kind of not that famous at all, actually, until we started appearing on Vic and Bob. I think he made an appearance and all that. But he played a guy called Brian Gittings. And really...
Well, he's playing Brian in this.
Yeah, well, Brian Gittings is his character, big fat jam jar glasses and quite disgusting and quite base comedy. But I always really liked him. And he sent me a message on Twitter.
That's essentially the character he plays in Afterlife, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, so that's kind of his main vibe then. Brian Gittins is his...
He's a little bit more happier in this.
Right.
And the robot's called Charles Petrestru.
Charles Petrestru.
Petrestru. I can't
Petrestru.
Oh, it's great. It really, really, really is great.
Does his thorax still function? Can he still put his rods in it?
Eh?
Can he still clean his rods in the robot's chest?
You don't really see much of the washing machine.
Oh,
it's brilliant. It's so nice. It's such a funny film as well. So yeah, check it out. That is my recommendation.
Nice.
Very good.
Random.
So I'm going to go a little bit left field with this.
Oh.
Because I've got a list of a few. But actually, I'm going to go with it's a Netflix film. Excuse me. And it is Jonah Hill's documentary called Stutz. Stutz.
What's up, Studs?
Hi, Jonah. Okay, entertain me.
I'm just gonna start by acknowledging how odd this endeavor is. A patient making a movie about his therapist. But my life has gotten immeasurably better as a result of working with you. If it worked for me, maybe it will work for other people.
The average shrink will say, don't intrude on the patient's process. They will come up with the answers when they're ready. That's not acceptable.
They just listen. And your friends, who are idiots, give you advice. And you want your friends just to listen, and you want your therapist to give you advice.
Stutz.
Stutz. It's the name of his therapist. And it is basically a film where he interviews his therapist. This guy called Stutz. And it is really good. It's kind of got Jonah Hill being, you know, the filmmaker, and he's got this contrivance about what he wants it to be, and you've got his therapist there who's talking about whatever Jonah wants to talk about, and then part of the way through you have Jonah Hill kind of revealing he's really struggling with the project because it is a contrivance. He's trying to make everybody think this is happening in one conversation, and yet it's taking 2 or 3 years to make this project. It's just really interesting, and it covers a lot of Stutz's approach, some of his techniques, some of the exercises he gets his clients to go through. Not a kind of typical kind of film, but it's just a really interesting watch.
Okay. Is he any good, this therapist?
No, sounds well shit.
Jonah likes him. That's all. We'll go with that. And that's the only information I have.
Jonah! Do you reckon
Only
Jonah
client.
needs a therapist? Or is it just a thing that fucking... Sorry. Or is it just a thing that actors... No, or is it just a thing that... Or is it just a thing that do?
I think he benefits from having a therapist.
Right.
All right. So...
Like we benefit from having... a humanely, what's it called?
I've no idea.
What am I trying to say? I'm saying that our podcast is doing a service to humanity, right? So that could be some sort of therapy for us, maybe.
I guess
Right, what's your last choice?
If you want therapy that doesn't resolve anything, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. What's your last choice, Laurie?
It's gonna be, and this is quite big for me because when I was little, Tim Burton made this film called Batman, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting!" And
From your secret friend.
Underneath the bridge,
Who?
Topper sprung a leak, and the animals I've trapped
Haven't a clue.
all become my pet.
Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
got so excited. I made my own VHS box. I put all the cards and the Batman sign, and I wrote the back, and I never got the video because I was planning to get a pirate video of it, and I was going to put it in my VHS box and all that. I was so excited, and I loved the film, and I started getting into the comics. I started reading Alan Moore's Killing Joke. I read Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. I read Frank Miller's Batman Year One, and I was like, oh my God, this is wonderful, wonderful. Got really into it. And I dreamed when I was older, when I'm running the toy store, what kind of Batman movie I would make. And this has come quite close. The Batman starring Footface Patterson. I really like it. There is some emo stuff in there that's a bit silly. You know, they kind of play, he's a little bit playing to that. But I mean, that's a nice crossover from Twilight, actually. Which
Is
I
that
don't
how it
mind at
works
all.
with actors? Sorry.
I don't. Well, no, maybe there is. I don't think he's like that. I don't think he would consciously, but maybe the algorithms of Hollywood would. But I just really like it. It's got a lovely texture to it, a lovely feel to it. It's got a noir about it. It's a little bit, inspired by Seven. Patterson's great. I mean, the opening sequence is like, the typical "Who are you?" and I'm the Batman, whatever. I'm vengeance and all that. And I believed him. The shape of the helmet is just great. And like I say, it's got that real sort of detective kind of feel about it. And I've been watching it over the past 3 weeks now. And I don't know, I think it's deliberate. I still haven't got to the end. I'm probably about 10 minutes away from the end. I keep watching it over and over again. And I've been standing very close to the TV as well. Drinking, obviously. But I just really like it. I think it's great.
Why didn't you just go watch Silence of the Lambs instead?
Because that's a completely different film.
Well, is it though?
Batman
Not
thing.
really, because it is basically just like a serial killer story, is it? Really?
No, it's a Batman serial killer story thing, in it.
Is it really the Riddler though?
I suppose that's a good question. I mean, but then again, have we really had a definitive inception of the Riddler? I don't think we have. I think the Joker, definitely, countless amount of times. The Penguin, oh my God.
The Penguin?
That's fucking...
Not a Penguin, it's not the Penguin. It is a mob boss.
Yeah,
Nothing
it's
to
a
do
mob.
with him. Yeah, absolutely.
But he is the Penguin. You can see it. You can see it. You can feel it. You can feel it.
You can't. You
And
can't feel
it's
it at all.
Colin Farrell, for God's sakes. Would you believe that? Amazing. I really, really like the film. I mean, I know it's not it's not changing the world or anything like that. I just think it's great. There you go.
All right. So they're making a Joker too, aren't they? Apparently.
Did that?
So.
Oh, what with our boy
Joaquin?
Joaquin.
I wonder if what's his face will play the Batman. Will turn up.
If they brought those two together, I'll be exceedingly happy.
I doubt it.
Apparently, Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn.
Really?
Apparently.
She's supposed to be very, very athletic, Harley Quinn. But then again, maybe
I quite like what's the name's version? That woman from Summer Bay, wasn't it?
Margot Robbie.
That's her.
I thought of something then. What the fuck was it?
So is it your favourite Batman film out of all of them?
I think so, yeah.
Even though absolutely nothing happens, really. And the Catwoman's shit.
No, I don't think she's it. Oh, no, this is something, actually. A friend of ours is in it. There's a scene where Bruce Wayne goes to the funeral of one of these politicians, whatever it is, and he's walking along, and there's this dude sat in the aisles, and he goes, blah, blah, blah. He's saying something like, serves him right, tosser, he should have died anyway. And then Bruce Wayne looks down at him, and then he looks at him and goes, do I know you? Like that. And he kind of walks away, and then the character fades off into the distance. His face goes back into the shadows, as it were. Now, that guy, we know him. He's a good friend. Well, not a good friend. He's a good friend's friend of ours. And I've met him. And I think his character is going to be something, well, was set to be something much bigger if they're making other films, whatever. And he's also in Catwoman, which they filmed in its entirety. It was all in the bag. And Hollywood, or whoever the fuck it is, saw it and went, I'm sorry, it's too pro-black. And they canned it. They stopped it.
Was that Catwoman or Batgirl?
I think you might be right. Maybe Batgirl, whatever it was called. But it was in the bag.
I doubt they'll have made another Catwoman after that disaster.
He played a big part in it, an important part in it. And they just viewed it and they said, no, it's too pro-black. And there's a couple of lines and sequences in this one, the Batman, which is very like you white elitist shit, kind of pushing that kind of agenda, but not in any major way. But apparently, yeah, this film filmed in entirety, and they just canned it. And I think they said the official release was, oh, there's no real target audience for it. But according to this guy that we know, really the line came back. He was told that it was too pro-black with anti-white kind of tones to it or something.
It's all a bit heavy, isn't it?
In it?
Film, really.
No. This thing isn't. The Batman isn't. But
well,
I want to see it now. Then.
If you just skim down the cast on IMDb, it's not a whole lot of non-white there.
Yeah,
but I appreciate there
should be a guy called Dougie something or other who is white. He's got a shocking face.
Not friend of yours, is he?
He's a good friend of Darren's. You know our boy Darren?
Right.
Good
yeah. He doesn't get credited.
Oh, great.
Well, maybe next time. Right. So that was last year. So what's everybody looking forward to this year?
I've got one.
Go on.
And it links to one of my last year's. I'm looking forward to Renfield.
Of course you are.
Yeah. I'm going all in with the cage.
So Renfield is the character from Dracula, yeah, the one who eats the spiders and stuff like that. It's driven mad. So what's he up to?
So essentially, this is a kind of like a comedy horror fantasy thing where Renfield, played by Nicholas Hoult, is at Dracula beck and call. Dracula being our good friend Nicolas Cage.
Right.
And it's essentially, my understanding of it from the trailer is that Nicholas Hoult is trying to disengage from this very unhealthy relationship in modern day LA, I assume.
It sounds very much like Vampire's Kiss to me.
No, it won't be.
No, I don't think it will be. But it just looks very dumb and entertaining.
Right. All right. Laurie, have you got one?
Have you got one?
Yeah. Go on,
I've got quite a few. Okay, I'll go first. Right. I'm going to admit it. Indy and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sign me up, kid. I'm there. It's not directed by Spielberg. We've had a little bit of what's it called? Trouble on set. I think Disney came in and they said they weren't quite happy with the ending or something. There was trouble with the shoot or whatever. Or the sequencing.
Does Disney own Indiana Jones now? Do they buy it with Star Wars?
I think so. Yeah, it's gone over there. Yeah, and they at the bequest of them, I think they asked to bring in a guy called James Mangold.
Sorry, they got rid of Steven Spielberg.
Oh, actually, no. He's a producer. Don't listen to a word I'm saying.
Well,
there's been a little bit of trouble, but it's in the bag now.
It is directed by James Mangold.
Right.
It's got Mads Mikkelsen in it. That's nice. Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
It's nice.
Toby Jones. Good cast. Yeah.
So it's going to be fun, right?
Well, I haven't seen the last two.
So that's the... Wait a minute. So you haven't seen...
Crystal Skull?
And The Last Crusade.
You haven't seen The Last Crusade?
Not yet.
You got to watch that one. That one's real good fun. I was surprised it was as good as it was, and it's really good.
Okay, I'll try.
Arguably, you could actually say it's one of the best. It is the best one, but it's not. Raiders is.
No, the one where he gets his hand burned on the thing. That's
the one. That's the one.
All right. Well, we'll all be looking forward to that. All right. Well, I suppose my one is the next Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. We're getting another one of these. I'll be interested to see where they take it, because I think the unique selling point was that, we obviously have Miles Morales playing Spider-Man, but, seeing all those different characters coming together. Can you do it again? Can you trap lightning in a bottle twice or whatever? Let's see what it says about it. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Not much, really. But most of the same characters seem to be coming back. So, I'm sure it'll be all right.
Yeah, I think it's definitely giving it a watch, right? The first one was brilliant.
Yeah. Yes. And I think... Yeah, go on.
I did bump into it. It's like it was on TV around Christmas time, and there was like a synopsis of like all the Spider-Man films. And they were kind of like putting bits together and just giving you little scenes and saying and this and that and that. And it does look really great. I mean, what, kind of where since Marvel's really taken off, there's some great stuff going on with, like, obviously the animation film that we watched together, which was fucking brilliant. And then all this, this other
what
stuff
animation film? What are you talking about?
Into the Spider-Verse or something it's called. Spider-Man into the fucking, oh, shut up. But anyway, yeah, it seems really interesting, all the stuff they're doing. It's made me think, shit, I need to watch these Spider-Man films.
What the fuck do you think I've just been talking about?
Yeah.
Have you had a stroke?
Yes. And
Boisson.
Stroke and Boisson.
All right, so my recommendation is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 2.
Very good.
2. Remember that one that we saw, though?
All right, Will, have you got any more?
I do. I've got another one, which we have referenced on previous, in the news on a previous episode. I'm looking forward to watching Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Based on a true story.
Indeed.
Cocaine Bear.
Yep.
Says it all, doesn't it?
I don't think you need much more than that. The actual, the brief synopsis on IMDb is: an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a 500-pound black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine.
Yeah, done.
Right.
Shit's on my idea, though. Heroin hedgehog. It was like, it's really crap.
Oh. Go on then, Laurie. What's yours?
Another one. I've got a few.
Yeah, just another one.
Okay. Really? Just another one?
Now, and then you can have another one in a minute.
All right. Okay. So, Bo is afraid. So, what's his face? Astar? Ari Astar? Midsommar guy? Hereditary guy? Ari
right.
Astar. Yeah.
The director, you mean?
Yes.
Right, what about
Bo is Afraid, starring Joaquin the Phoenix. And I think it's almost about Joaquin Phoenix, I think. I don't know very much about it, but I know it's going to be interesting because Joaquin is definitely challenging himself over the past few years. And Ari Aster is, he's got that kind of pushing the boat out with ideas and stuff. So, yeah, should be good.
All right.
Might be shit.
All right, so my next one is a little bit controversial. It's coming out in October, and it's called The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah. So now this is the same guy who did the...
David Gordon Green.
That's it. So he's the guy who did all the kind of the Halloween stuff, the resurgence of Halloween.
Yeah, we were lucky to have all of those, weren't we?
Yeah.
But what is interesting about this film is that Ellen Bernstein is reprising her role.
Fucking hell. So they're basically doing what they did with Jamie Lee Curtis, they're doing with her. So they've seen the model
I
works.
would suggest that Ellen Bernstein doesn't have to do this. Her career is pretty good.
I might suggest that like Jamie Lee Curtis didn't have to do it, but they've got blackmail on her, and now she has to do it.
Well, let's see what it's all about. The Exorcist is a follow-up to the original and the 1973 original only, and will reportedly unfold the first of a trilogy. There we go.
Exactly what they did with Halloween.
Except they're all the same. Surely they need to be slightly different.
Well, I think we can expect what we're going to get from this. But yeah, I suppose like the entity of like this demon disguising as the devil. Yeah, I'll watch it. Controversial, that one, James. Very controversial.
Wyndham, have you got any more?
I'm going to go for one more. And as the action correspondent for the movie Lighthouse,
yes, he is.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah.
Are we at 4 already?
Yeah, don't care what it's about. Not bothered about the plot line particularly.
Yeah.
But Keanu Reeves as John Wick. Yeah, yes, please.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
You go.
Do you know how I got introduced to John Wick? Do you remember?
Me?
No,
over a prawn vol au vent.
No, I got confused when and I thought, you remember when we reviewed that awful film, John Carter from Mars? I thought that was it. And I spent the whole film watching it going, when is he going to Mars?
The whole film watching it.
Oh,
It's because it sucks you in. You can't turn it
it's a
off.
great film.
One of our friends, Jasper, has a friend called John Wick.
Shit.
Hey.
Yeah.
See, Jasper's a powerhouse. He was part of what's that superb film that he was part of?
Batman.
That we reviewed.
The Batman.
No.
Sorry, what?
Pontypool.
Pontypool. Brilliant film.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening and hasn't seen it yet, go and watch Pontypool. A real little treat, that one. I've forgotten what I was going to say now.
Right, well, that's it. The other, there's another Evil Dead film coming out. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy.
June Part 2.
June Part 2 is coming out.
Are you ready to go back to Arrakis? No, I'm not, because it was really boring.
It was all right.
It went on for ages.
It did a little bit, but it's all right. It's all right.
It's okay.
It's a lot of music, it's a lot of sound. You know,
takes itself a bit too seriously.
You got your bag of revels. Oh, you feel a bit sick. Loads of noise. Finishes. That was all right. Napoleon, Ridley Scott's Napoleon, starring Joaquin Phoenix. Again.
Oh no,
it's not going to be like The Duelist, is it?
Yes, that's exactly what it's going to be like.
See, you guys didn't like The Duelist, did you?
No, we did not.
Just such a couple of, honestly, you can't.
Maybe you should do a spin-off podcast, you and Connor.
Yeah.
Connor would be all over that shit.
Definitely.
Right. Any more, Mr. Wise?
Well, I did have a this is tradition of ours. I think ever since we've been podcasting for however many years, Uzumaki is being delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, albeit it's a TV series, animated TV series.
Oh, we're talking about the Spiral here. Yeah, I keep looking out for it.
Uzumaki. It was supposed to have come out last year in October. It's been delayed
about 4 years ago.
Again. So, you know, fingers crossed we see that come to the fold. Also, actually, Panos Cosmatos, he's currently working on his latest film. When he talks about Mandy,
who is this man?
Panos Cosmatos, the guy who did Mandy, Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Okay.
Episode 7 of Guillermo del Toro's amazing series. Because basically, in that series, by the way, he just gets his favorite directors in to do that one specific episode. He presents it like Alfred Hitchcock right at the beginning. He just sets the scene, and then
this is the Second World War. These are Nazis.
Just like that, but you can't understand a fucking word he's saying. It's like, I'm a really fat bastard, and I'm fucking Spanish, and I can't fucking up fair. And then the film starts. It's really good. But Panos Cosmatos does episode 7, and who have we got in it, Wyndham? Who's in episode 7?
Nicolas Cage.
Peter of Weller. Of Weller, and he is amazing. And Panos Cosmatos is
who's Peter Weller?
Shut up. Panos Cosmatos is a massive fan of Buckaroo Banzai.
I'm thinking of Paul Weller. Who's Peter Weller?
You always think of Paul Weller, bro.
Do I need to check?
Are you being serious? Peter Weller is RoboCop.
I know.
And Buckaroo Banzai.
I don't know all these things.
Yeah. Anyway, so Panos Cosmatos does episode 7 of that, so you've got to check it out. It is spectacular. Anyway, so he's working on his next project, which is called Bear With Me Callers. Bear With Me Callers. It's something like that. It's something like that. Oh fuck. It's called Necrocosm. And he said about Mandy that was a bit of a crowd pleaser, and he feels that this is going to be potentially even more of a crowd pleaser, but with it's a sci-fi kind of hoo-ha.
I don't know if I'd describe Mandy as a crowd pleaser.
I guess it depends on the crowd,
it was. Right? Jesus.
All right. So, got our 2020 leaderboard here. So, does anyone remember what topped our leaderboard this year?
2022?
Yeah.
It's probably something shit.
Oh.
What was it? Like Shawshank Redemption. Was it that?
I don't remember.
Okay, so in third place with 74.6%, we had Alibaba.
All right, okay.
Enjoyed that. That was good.
That was
I enjoyed
good.
it very much. Yeah. That's one of those films when you start watching it, you're not quite sure what's going to happen, and then you're not quite sure what's going to happen all the way through, really.
Yeah.
Sweaty, sexy, great
It wasn't
soundtrack.
sexy. Well, what bit was it
so
sexy?
It's sexy. Even the old girl. Yeah, man. I was chubbed up oblivion.
All right. In second place with 76% was Eraserhead.
Okay, yeah.
Was it?
Ah. So happy with these two so far, Laurie?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, both black and white.
Yeah. And again, not quite sure what that's about, really.
Yeah, you do.
Were you chubbed to oblivion in that one as well? Laurie?
There's a chubby bit.
It's less sexy though, isn't it?
It's less sexy.
What was that woman dancing behind her?
If I'm just about to, well, yeah, she's actually got certain allure. Yeah, but when she starts stamping on his semen, I'm like,
well,
so you're gonna chub back.
You're gonna blow your load with number one because it was Under the Skin with 82%.
Oh, brilliant! We did well this year.
Pretty good this year, yeah.
Well
Don't
done,
patronise us, you twat.
You're getting good at this, James.
And does anyone want to take a guess at what our bottom three were?
Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, that was 15th place. There's two below it.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
That was just below Buckaroo Banzai. And who knows what our worst film of 2022 was that we reviewed?
Oh, it's definitely going to be a suggestion that I made.
Think of the worst board game ever.
Oh my God, that's awful. That was Wyndham that brought that one in.
Quintet.
That one's called Quintet. Oh my God, that's so shit.
That was poke.
It's complete cum.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. All right, well, here is the 2023. So before we go, we need to choose our ball too. And also, I asked you all to come up with a little resolution for 2023. So, Wyndham, do you want to kick us off? What's your resolution?
My resolution is to honour my commitment to the movie Lighthouse. So when we set a date, it's going to have to be the world coming to an end for me to cancel it.
Don't be like that.
And I'm going to, because on reflection, I think there were times when I came without movies. Last year was not my best year showing up for the movie Lighthouse. So this year, back on the wagon, I'm going to honour my commitment to it.
Nice.
Good stuff.
I definitely feel there's more pepper in my pencil for this year. So I'll do the same as you. Resolution, though, I really don't know. Check sell-by dates, I suppose, something like that.
Very good. Well, my new flatmate, Bendy Wendy, has never seen a single film in her entire life.
Fuck off.
What?
So she has
What's her
asked
name?
me. She has
Bendy
asked,
Wendy.
She's an acrobat. Yeah. So her name's Wendy, and she's Bendy.
Wow. And she hasn't seen a film.
So let me explain how much she hasn't seen a film. She's asked me to take her.
Oh, it's not like an impairment, is it? She's not like
take her through the journey of film. So every time I present a film, she hasn't seen it. So we have watched Psycho. We have watched Alien. We have watched. Oh, what else have we not watched?
Wow.
Candyman. We are going to be watching. I don't know if she's ready for anything and everything all at once.
Yeah.
But we are going to be doing. I think we'll do Kramer versus Kramer next. But she hasn't seen a single film.
You should.
Are you actually?
I'm
You've got
like
to show her the.
an
You've got to
expert.
show her the Wizard of
It's
Oz.
brilliant.
Yeah, and
I'm not
Watership
going to show her
Down.
that shit. I'm only going to show her films I like. It's like rewriting history. It's great.
You got to show her the Wizard of Oz. You've got
Why?
to, because it's like
Shaping her mind.
that's one of the ones, right?
Is
The
it?
birds, yeah, Hitchcock stuff. for
Nah, we've
sure.
done Psycho. We're sorted. We haven't got time to do the wall.
That's bizarre.
And she will never, ever know of Blade Runner.
Well, no, you could just like get your pillow and you could put it on for her, couldn't you?
No, she'll never know it even exists.
You're missing a trick here. You should have like Bendy Wendy, 30-second.
Well, I thought about that really, but I couldn't be bothered.
Feature. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I will tell you about how she's getting on as the year progresses.
Brilliant. Yeah, keep us posted, man.
But what was good? I had quite a bad cough the other day, and I was doing aforementioned coughing, and she went, you're like that guy from Alien. At first.
Oh, like when oh Jesus, what's his name?
It is the War Doctor, John Hurt.
John Hurt. Ash.
No. It's not Ash. Ash is the robot.
Is Ash the robot? Oh.
Charles
Ian Holmes.
Yeah. Right. So I've taken a management decision. This too in advance is way too complicated, and it ruins the whole point of Jeopardy. So
okay,
back to the old ways.
Yeah, back to the old ways are best.
Yeah.
So whose turn was it? Who can remember who chose last time?
So we reviewed Buckaroo Banzai, which is definitely
one of yours,
suggestions.
and mine was Under the Skin.
So you chose.
So James, you chose. And then before that, we had Prince of Darkness,
which is my suggestion,
and Suspiria.
Yeah. Okay. It must be me then.
So it's you choosing, yeah.
So whose turn to choose then, is it?
It's Laurie's turn to choose.
Right.
Look at that, deductive.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Did he do Halloween?
Yeah, but that was his episode, wasn't it?
Oh, actually, wait a minute. Yeah, so that was my episode. So that okay. So what
was it's your turn.
So it's my turn. Boom.
Go.
Okay, so a ball has spilled out onto my loins. I'm going to have a look at it. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's not another lump again, is it?
Well, no, I don't know if it's a number 6 or a number 9.
Is there not a little line underneath it denoting?
Shall I say
yeah, sorry, I didn't spot the line underneath it. Of course, I said fucking line.
It's a number 9.
Well, I'll tell you what. No, seeing as though it's the new year, Wyndham, you can choose which category you want from the 2 choices.
Oh, wonderful.
Ooh, I like that.
So the choices are 2006.
Shit.
We've done Mars Attacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we've done 2006 as well.
Oh, hold on a minute. Are you sure?
Yeah, what was that?
That's just That's choose
another ball.
Yeah, I had to rewrite all the scripts and stuff, so these might be a bit out of date. All right, let's go for. Oh, I don't know if this is a number 1 or a number 10. Number 10. The movies.
Cool. I'll pick that one, thanks, mate.
Right, so
what was the header? Sorry.
Disaster movies.
Disaster.
So we're going to choose the films and get back to you in a couple of minutes. All right, so we are going to choose are two disaster movies. With them, you get to call the shots. So I am going to offer you my first offering, which I offer the Poseidon Adventure.
Ooh, an oldie, but a goodie.
Will Shelley Duvall make it? Is it Shelley Duvall?
God, bloody hell, I haven't watched that for many, many, many years.
There we go.
The guy from Airwolf's in it, right?
Don't know.
I think so. Santini from
Yeah,
Santini.
what? He plays a cop.
It could be.
All right, come on, Laurie. What's your first choice?
That's really quite hard. Disaster movies is very hard. Is The Black Hole a disaster movie? Not really, because he decides to go in there. Soylent Green, that's not disaster movie. Gravity's an exceptionally good.
Are you going to just talk through a load of films that aren't
Oh, I got one. The Grey. Okay, so it's Ridley Scott again. It's starring Liam Neeson. I recommended it actually. We had the Ridley Scott film choices, but I'm going to say The Grey. It's really good.
Now look at his hands with them. He's trying to do some mind control shit.
Okay.
All right, and my second choice is Sharknado.
Fuck off.
Okay. Laurie, you've got some tough competition here.
I have, haven't I? Oh God. Okay, the original. Oh, have we done Day of the Triffids? That's not really a disaster movie, is it? The Day the Earth Stood Still, I believe, is a disaster movie. The original.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
What, with the alien?
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh, come on. Yeah, it is.
What?
Disaster. It is.
It's an alien invasion movie.
Okay. Well, I suppose to be fair, The Grey probably isn't either then. They're having like a disaster.
At least The Grey starts with a plane crash.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Not Cloverfield. No.
Titanic?
No. It's
Volcano?
hard.
How about the Towering Inferno?
Oh yeah, with like heart to heart guy.
Come on.
So no, I'm sorry. It's hard. Okay. It is a disaster, isn't it? The Mist. That's a disaster for everyone. The Mist turns up.
Well, have the Mist.
It is. It happens. Yeah, but like floods happen. And this is the Mist. And obviously it's a fucked up malevolent mist, isn't it? The Mist. Stephen King. Really, it's an amazing ending. It will literally, you will fall off your chair.
We've all seen it.
Oh.
But yeah, it's good film.
I haven't seen it.
The Mist.
Is this from 2007?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just reading the short synopsis on IMDb. It sounds like a disaster movie.
It is, look! If it was
not a disaster movie in the slightest.
I'm going to pick. I can't bring myself to pick Sharknado.
Oh, really? I've never seen it. I thought it'd be a nice excuse to watch it.
No, I've never seen it either. Oh, but now I'm going to seem like I'm being swayed. I'm going to pick The Grey.
Oh,
okay.
Not another Ridley Scott fucking film.
I think it's going to be terrible. Sharknado. We're going to go old school with Poseidon Adventure.
Oh!
Well, at least they are both. Oh no, the grey isn't, is it?
The Mist is more a disaster movie than The
wasn't
Grey.
really. All right, so that's 2 films to kick us off. Right, so we will see you in January, even though it is January. So we're going to get our skates on. We are going to have 12 episodes.
Yeah, 12 episodes, yeah, man. 13
film knowledge. Yeah.
Cool.
Right. All right then. Well, yeah, well, I'll see you all later, guys. Take it easy.
Oh, that was
Nice
1 hour, 36 minutes of pure. 26 minutes.
Of pure what?